Hello, Kevin McCamey here, and I'm so glad you've joined me as we're streaming across several different platforms tonight. If you're watching this webinar, it may be because you are struggling with the balance between your work life and your home life. So many of us have difficulty bringing those things together and feeling like we're really accomplishing things at home and at work. So, tonight we're going to be sharing 6 secrets that I have learned from high performing people. And a matter of fact, the most successful people in the world use these same 6 strategies to be supportive. And so I want to let you know that you are in the right place if you want to find out. All right, let's get started. So, the 6 secrets to the world's highest achievers and how they can dramatically change your life. What we're going to cover tonight is why most of us seem to fail. We're actually going to look very quickly at the science of high performance and the study and the science that went behind all of the learning that I'm going to teach you tonight. We're going to look at my surprising results, not for me to brag, but for you to see that if I can do it, if I can accomplish great things, then I know that you can too. We're also going to specifically take some time to look at each of the habits that high performers use every single day to achieve their success and how you can use them too. Then we're going to look at a quick game plan for you, and we're going to have a giveaway at the very end. So please watch till the very end and make sure you're available for that giveaway. All right, let's go. So, what do the world's highest performing people actually do? They're successful. They're like this lady you see here. They just seem to have everything going for them. Have you ever known anyone like that? Maybe that's you. If so, I'm so glad that you've got a great life and things are working for you. But for a lot of us, we don't feel that way. And we're trying desperately to figure out what the secrets are, what the strategies are that we can actually use to accomplish that and be successful. Too many times we get burned out by trying so hard over and over again. We're exhausted. We have fatigue. We're discouraged. And oftentimes we're just totally overwhelmed by the magnitude of all the suggestions and recommendations that we find out here. And we're just not sure what to do next. So I'm going to try and boil it down for you and show you the 6 things tonight that you should be deliberately trying to practice on a daily basis. Okay, so how do the world's most successful people actually overcome burnout, exhaustion, and discouragement and go on to succeed? Well, before we begin, let me tell you that it's okay if you're a little skeptical. I am skeptical. I was skeptical the first time I heard this information, but I've seen it work in my life. And I want you to know that millions of people, millions of successful people have utilized these same strategies. So ask yourself while we're going through this, is improvement something that is important to you right now? What would happen if you really focused on improving? And how might improvement actually make your life better, your family's life better, maybe your team at work, everyone around you? How could it possibly make things better for you? So be thinking about that as we go through the presentation. All right, so what's not working? Well, many of us are in this place where we've tried to work hard. We've been passionate about what we were doing. We've focused, or we've tried to focus anyway. And we have practiced a lot. We've tried to be grateful, but something just doesn't seem to click. And we can't make it over that hump. So, what is it that we need to do? So, how do we get to be where we can feel and find that next level of success and avoid the burnout and still have time for the relationships that we really want in our life? So, the secrets of high performance. Again, we're going to go through this stuff quick. So, I want you to get a paper and pen or a pencil or type on your computer. Be sure and take some notes on these facts and figures so that you can understand just how powerful this training is going to be that we're going to be on. All right, so this is Brendan Burchard. You might have seen him on the internet, on Facebook or Instagram, and seen him talking before. You might have actually heard him speak. He actually wrote the book, High Performance Habits. And he also founded and funded a study to figure out, before he wrote this book, what is it that makes high performers tick? What are they doing that allows them to be so powerful and to achieve success over and over again? What allows some people to succeed more quickly and sustain it, while other people, become miserable and they're not happy about what they're doing? And then what motivates people to really, really, really reach for those highest levels of success? What kind of habits and training and support are they getting that we aren't? So let's look and find out. They did over 1 million assessments of the High Performance Institute. They did global surveys, all the information you see here, data analytics, all kinds of things that they did. They interviewed all these people. They trained tons of people, as you can see here. And what they found out, that there were about 100 performance habits that seemed to show up over and over and over again. But there were six habits that all of these people were practicing every day. And so, what are those things? They were habits that it's not just like brushing your teeth that you can do it with almost without thinking. They're deliberate habits. We could have actually observed these people doing it. They're somewhat changeable if needed. They're also trainable, and they're effective across all the domains. Okay? So no matter what your career, what your vocation is, if you're looking to improve your relationships, these habits can work for you. So here's the habits. Seek clarity, generate energy, raise necessity, increase your productivity. Who's interested in that? Develop influence and demonstrate courage. And we're going to go through all of them very succinctly in just a few moments. So what happened was the Institute found that what high performance was, they kind of had to come up with a definition, was that it was succeeding beyond the standard norms. It wasn't just getting by. None of this quiet quitting was going on for these high performers. They were consistently, over the long term, improving their results, their performance, their well-being, and their positive relationships. High performers actually said that they felt fully engaged, joyful, and confident. When's the last time you felt all three of those things at the same time? So that's what it feels like to be a high performer, according to them. And I can tell you, it does feel that way now that I've been practicing these habits for several years. All right. The findings also found that high performance is not really strongly correlated with your age or your gender, nationality, not even your intelligence or your personality or creativity or your strength, and not even how much money you make. Wow. Instead, it's not about strengths. High performers are always asking this question: what is it that's required of me to be of service here right now? As they go into each meeting, they're asking these intentional questions about what do they need to do next and how can they serve others in the best way. Now, let's talk about my surprising results. I actually, several years ago, was focused only on my career. Anyone else ever been like that? I can see some of you raising your hands. And I felt like I was an expert. And I actually was pretty smart in what I was doing. I was going around the country training doctors, nurses, medical professionals about how to utilize software in order to raise their efficiency level, be more productive, and actually go home and be with their families. And that's what I was doing. And I unfortunately got to a point, though, where I felt like I learned everything I needed to know and I knew everything. And I stopped trying to learn more. I got complacent and I stopped growing. I really was just kind of on a stationary bike, not going anywhere. And I was just existing instead of really living. And then all of a sudden, my father got put in the hospital. And in just a few days, he was gone. And as I sat in that hospital room and they wheeled his body out, I was left with his keys and his wallet and his cell phone. Now, I had 3 of those things myself. He didn't need his anymore. But I thought mine were so important. Every day when I left the house, I checked my pockets to see if I had those things. Because I couldn't get on a plane without it. I couldn't drive to the airport. I couldn't call anyone at the office or call back home and talk to my wife or to my kids if I didn't have those things. And they were very important to me because I was so focused on work and my career and my business. But I wasn't living the life that I really wanted to live. I wanted to be home with my family instead of traveling all over the country. And luckily, I had an awakening at that moment when I realized my dad didn't need these 3 things anymore. I also realized that if there's anything that he got to take with him into that next life, it was the memories and the feelings of those that he loved and he left behind. And we still had those things too. And that was what was really important. And I decided to make a change and really focus on my family and make sure that my relationships were connected and as deep and meaningful as I could make them at that point. And I started changing how I was doing things. I started using those 6 habits we're going to talk about in a minute. And I found a whole new level of self-awareness. I had learned just one lesson, but I learned a lot more over the next few years. And I found clarity in what I really wanted to do. I improved my health dramatically in that first year. And I got more productivity on my priorities, not others' priorities. I had more presence in my relationships. And I really felt like I was making a connection with my wife, my kids. And that was amazing. And I felt so much better, so much more alive than I ever had before, that I wanted to share these things with you. And that's why I'm here tonight. So, what are those 6 habits? And how do they help high performers get that way? And how do they develop them? And how do they keep growing and succeed? That's what we keep asking, right? Well, let's find out. So, what do successful people do? The Institute found out that they actually seek training and counseling, or they receive coaching with a coach. They practice the successful habits on a daily basis. And because they're doing those things and they have accountability and discipline, they experience breakthroughs. And they break through the blocks, the roadblocks, the things that are trying to stop them from succeeding. And they achieve their goals because they do these things. So the first habit that they focus on is daily, they want to know, what and who do I want to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? They're constantly thinking about and considering, who do they want to be in the future? What do they want to be doing? What are their relationships going to be like? What are they going to feel like when they wake up each day and they work in their career? They serve others in the manner in which they want to live and work. How is that going to feel for them? They're thinking about that every morning to start off their day. And so they have a directional point which they're focused on. And then they can continue to take the steps all day towards seeing that person. And not only that, but they try to figure out, well, how does that person feel and what habits do they have? And they bring as much of that back to today, and they start living that way. They start doing these habits now and being present with their family and really being focused and productive at work. And that's how they do it. So that's the first habit. Decide what it is that you want to do, who it is you want to be. So write down these next 6 habits for yourself. And after the webinar, I hope you'll think about it and you'll try to figure out, who is it that you want to be 3 years from now. The next habit is they actually learn to generate more energy. Now you see this guy's getting ready to go work out. So perhaps you've heard the term runner's high. It's actually been proven that people who run for exercise, when they get to a certain point, that they actually start feeling better than when they started running. They feel more energized. And I don't run for exercise, but I walk, and I can tell you I have the same feeling just by walking every day. It is amazing to me that I'm not just expending energy, I'm actually producing more energy and generating it. And it's not just physical either. It can also be mental. For instance, what kind of energy are you bringing to work each day? Are you one of those people who is quiet quitting, as they say? Or are you there with positive mental energy and determined to be just as productive as you can be, because that matters to you as a value? And then there's even emotional energy. When you come home to your family, are you bringing home the weighted loads that you got at work? Or are you setting that aside and walking through the door with the energy to be present with them and to also be so much involved in their lives and let them know that they are the priority? That's right. They are your priority when you come home. Just like focusing on work is your priority when you're at work. So, what kind of energy are you generating every day and bringing to others? The next habit is to raise necessity. So, ask yourself this: why is it important that I accomplish this dream or aspiration or project? Why is it important now? And the more you can get focused on what do I need to do next, and that it is important, and you set the priority, and you have a why, a big why that says, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Could be any number of motivations. Could be for yourself to achieve something, some goal, some next level or promotion. It could be to earn more income so you can better support your family, pay for your kids' college education. Whatever the fact might be, what is it for you? Write that down. Next, they know how to increase their productivity. So ask yourself, how aware and engaged are you with your passion? When you go to work each day, are you passionate about what you're doing there? Is it meaningful to you? Do you enjoy doing it? How much more productive could you be if you were actually engaged and you were focused on doing the very best job possible? And you know what? I've found that you would even feel better because you gave it your best effort. Next, high performers learn how to develop influence. They know that they are a role model for other people. It could be team members at work, could be a team that they're supporting, it could be their spouse or their partner or their kids at home. How important is it for us to be a role model and display the right values and act appropriately and live a life of excitement and possibility instead of a life of drudgery? You realize your kids are seeing how you live and they are going to model their life after you, or they're going to see what you do and go a completely different direction because they don't want any part of that. So, how important is it for you to be a role model for your kids, for your team members, for your partner or spouse? Finally, you could be doing all 5 of these other habits every single day. But if you don't have the courage to really take action and put those habits into practice, actually bringing those things to work with you and using it to be intentional and to be productive at the projects you're working on, to be influencing other team members and other people in your company in a positive way and bringing that positive mental energy. If you're not doing those things and you don't have the courage to speak up when there's a company meeting and you know that something is going the wrong direction and you have information that you don't share, you've got to have courage. You've got to have courage to be able to tell your family, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I'm going to follow these 6 habits. and I would love for you to follow them with me. And let's make our lives better because we are going the same place together. So, are you courageous enough to do that? All right. So, after you've heard these 6 habits, what is your game plan? I know you wrote them all down, but what are you going to do with them? How can you make them part of your day every day? So, ask what is your game plan for success and how can you achieve long term success? As a gift to you, you should see a link in the post below that will be there for a guide, a free guide that you can download and see some of the additional physical things and specific things that high performers do. We researched several of them and put this list together for you so that you can make these things a part of your own life. They're very specific and you can adapt them so that you do them every day, perhaps every week, every month, whatever the case may be that works for you. We've also got some affirmations there that you can read aloud to yourself, which incorporate the 6 habits I just told you about. And when you do that morning after morning, you will be amazed at how much your level of belief in yourself and your confidence starts to rise. So please download this free guide and take advantage of this information to help you achieve long term success. And then ask yourself, remember we talked about that clarity was the first habit? Don't just do these things. Ask yourself, why am I doing these things? Put them into practice, but make sure you're going in the right direction. So ask yourself, who do I really want to be? Why is it important to me? And what is going to be my plan to become that person that I really want to be in 3 years and have that family that I want to have connected and have deep relationships and have a career that is so meaningful to me, I can't wait to get to work and get started. So you're here watching this video, streaming on several different platforms, but you're probably watching this for one of these reasons. We've been talking about what's your why, right? Some of you are probably feeling pain. You don't like where you are right now. Maybe you're overweight, or you're underemployed, or you're unemployed, or you are just, it doesn't feel right. And you know that you could be doing better. And you've got hope that you don't have to feel stuck. You're just not sure how to move forward. And then some of you probably are here because you actually have ambition. You have succeeded, but you want to keep doing it. And so far, you keep running into the glass ceiling and not getting ahead like you really want to. So if you've got ambition and you have a desire to achieve your next challenge, or you're feeling pain or you're feeling stuck, we want to offer you some additional help. If you're really ready for the next level of success and you've got people counting on you, like I had people counting on me, and you want to get there faster, then let's spend 60 minutes together and dive into your whys. Why is it important to you to become better, to improve, to reach that next level? Why? Let's create your game plan. I can help guide you as a high performance coach to be successful in your relationships and your career. And all you have to do is take advantage of this free giveaway. We're going to offer a complimentary strategy session. So that can be an hour to 2 hours long, and you can sit down with me online or in person, and we will go through your whys and your dreams and your goals and aspirations together in a complimentary coaching session about your strategy. So there will be a link below in the post, and you can click on that link and register for that free strategy session and set it up on my calendar. And I'll be so happy to be able to share the details with you of these 6 habits and how you can apply them and the strategy that you can use to put them into your life. So there's also a QR code here. If you're watching and you can't find the link, just take a little picture of that QR code. It'll take you right to the page to register on your phone, and you can take care of it there and get that scheduled also. Now, if you register tonight, so before midnight on November the 9th, we're going to also give you a free $200 value online course that you can take at your leisure. So what's the worst thing that's going to happen if you register for this strategy session, sit down with me, you learn some strategies that you want to do, and you decide to flush them all? You still are going to get the free course. And I'll give you those details when we sit down in our strategy session. So I look forward to meeting with you in the future. Schedule your session tonight, and I'll see you in the future and next time.